One, two, three. Well, welcome to the third episode of Radioactive Spider-Pod, or the RASP, as we call it.
We don't.
I'm joined by Kinetic Kevin and the vexatious Véro.
See what you did there. You took my pun.
Yes, if you look up what vexatious means, it means annoying.
Oh.
Gotcha.
Oh.
So today we're doing episode 3, Return of the Spider Slayers, which first aired February 11th of 1995. Our episode opens by revealing the Black Widow is back and on the prowl. Much like Mary Jane Watson, Spider-Man is forced to tangle with not one, but 2 Spider Slayers.
Ooh.
Huh? Another one, and it's bigger.
Spider-Man casually drops in that he destroyed the Black Widow months ago, and that means he's been dodging May's blind date for at least half a year.
Yeah, I guess it has been a while. They mentioned that in the first episode, didn't they?
He's studying.
I don't know if they did, but they definitely brought it up while she's at the party. Like, you should have brought Mary Jane Watson, Anna Watson's niece. And and now it's like, it's months later, and he's still that same blind date avoiding.
Well, he hasn't seen her yet.
She's like, she's got a great personality. She's got huge tracts of land.
Yeah, I'm sure Mrs. Watson's niece has a very nice personality, Aunt May, but I hate blind dates.
Well, I think the important part is this: at the end of this episode, this little monologue, he does give us the more you know about playing the lottery.
It's really funny how, like, back in the 90s, like, blind dates were a thing. Now it's kind of impossible to have a blind date with somebody because of, like, the internet, and you just Google them. You like, literally, people have tried to set me up with people, and then I'm just like, what's their name? Like, and then, like, I can find
Let me
them
look
on
them up right now.
Well, like,
exactly,
I can look them up on Facebook. Like, I know you're friends of friends, and it's just like, it's not difficult. I mean, it's a different time.
Blind dates are kind of just Tinder now. Like, it's the
It's
same.
not even blind.
No, but it's basically a similar idea. Somebody you know describes them to you, but you've never met them, and then you go on a date with them. Except that somebody you know is replaced by a robot.
Yeah.
And you at least know what they look like, so it avoids any awkward interactions at the bar.
Oh, I'll be wearing a red rose.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's not the hot one, it's the one next to him.
Oh, that's always good, because then you can just leave. Like, you go like, oh.
Yeah, well, if they don't know what you look like, that's
Exactly.
the whole thing. Yeah, but I don't know.
So
I've
you
wanted
play
to
your
leave
cards.
halfway through dates sometimes, so whatever.
It's either you ask for the check or you drink more, right?
Yeah, I usually just drink more.
You just walk backwards, and then they think time went backwards. And then they don't understand.
I mean, I never really, like, I'm not that.
Is the date ending or starting? I can't tell.
Yeah, who knows?
Huh?
So when he's fighting the Spider Slayer, one of his first things, like when it's attacking him, is to call himself Webhead. Like, he calls, like, think, Webhead, think.
Think fast, webhead, think fast.
And
Really? I didn't even catch that.
I did, and I just thought it was so weird because that's something like supervillains call him as an insult.
Well, I mean, wasn't there a mention of not having enough web fluid again?
I was going to say, that was
just
perfect.
filled his web
Oh, he
fluid.
just
Like,
filled it.
guys, don't worry. We can actually have a fight. Audience,
Yeah, we
I
gotta-
filled my web fluid. Don't worry, guys.
We got to start keeping track of how many times bringing up the amount of web fluid or needing to put a new like cartridge in is brought up throughout this entire series.
Do we need to have a cartridge count every episode? Like,
Have
oh,
a
here we
cartridge
go.
Yeah, that's twice an episode at least, I think.
At least.
The whole point of this podcast is to slowly build the ultimate Spider-Man drinking game. And then we'll just drink ourselves to death and it'll be cool.
All right.
The only other thing I have about this is that microwave relay dish probably killed some people.
Well, not only that, how the hell did he see the microwaves?
I mean,
Like,
artistic license.
Okay, but why did it have to radiate microwaves as if, like, oh, it's working?
A microwave relay dish.
He takes this thing, it's pointing up in the sky. These things are super powerful, like
Yeah.
enough to fry electronics.
Yeah.
And then he points it down at the spider.
Uh-huh.
And then, like, the guy on the top floor penthouse is, like, seizing up because his pacemaker doesn't work anymore.
This ought to sizzle your circuits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or he's, like, cooked.
It's either something, like, super fun, like, horrible like that, or super benign. Like, it's like some lady keeps turning on the microwave and the circuit keeps popping.
Or it was, like, the beginning. What was that movie where, like, I think it was The Core.
Oh,
Remember
God.
the core of the Earth stopped spinning, and then,
Yes.
like, everyone's, like,
Fucks up.
pacemakers stopped working?
Yeah, because it says like an EMP
Or
and,
some shit.
and they gotta go.
because the electromagnetic pulses
Yes.
go out.
Well, then
Yes.
they have to drill to the center of the Earth to detonate the bomb.
It's exactly like that. Let's put it that way.
Good work, Spider-Man.
So does that actually work? Can you actually cook robots with microwave dishes?
Well, I mean, yeah, in theory, if it's a high enough frequency, like they have to be shielded for a reason.
Does that...
Yeah, I mean, you're
And
gonna...
it fucks with all kinds of stuff. Like,
So would that be strong enough? As a kid, I just assumed it was a thing. Like, oh, sure. Like how
Well,
sonic
it's-
blasts aren't a real thing.
Well, it needs to be strong enough to transmit, like, at least several kilometers. Or
yeah, well,
whatever, right?
that's not even that crazy. So I can't say the name of the company, but there was a company that makes foodstuffs in Ontario, and I know they got part of their plant shut down for a small amount of time because they were using a microwave to finish the baking on a certain type of food that they made, and it gave it a very crispy flavor. But it was unshielded on the top, and they didn't realize. So it's a giant microwave, and it was blasting downwards, but it still emits microwave radiation upward, and it was blacking out plane traffic. Like it was a dead zone for plane communications. So it was super dangerous because they were making like crackers.
and it's just like, another great batch of crackers finished. And then this place
Those people are going to eat crackers. They run over to the plane.
Oh, wait, we can feed them now. They're fresh out of the oven.
Jiminy Jillikers.
I better check this out.
It's revealed that Smythe the Younger has joined with the Kingpin for realsies and is tasked with destroying our favorite wall crawler. But thanks to some dumb bystanders, Spidey gets frozen, shackled, and gassed, and then taken back to the bad guy's hideout.
Smite the crippler.
What?
What?
I said Smythe the Younger, you weirdo.
I said smite the crippler.
No.
Oh gosh,
Oh.
you mean like the more crippled Smite?
No, his
That one's
father is
old.
the crippler.
Yeah.
Because he crippled his son. He admitted to it in the previous episode.
His only dream was to see me walk again.
Oh yeah,
Semantics.
And they revealed the second Spider Slayer, don't they?
Yeah, they do. So he beats the first one with microwaves, and then the second one just sort of pops in.
What I'd like to think is the
he does the
tarantula.
Oh,
The tarantula pops in. And then
That's what it's
and then he's all gonna fight, he's gonna corral them, and then Trooper runs out,
Chipper! No! Trooper!
and Trooper does a protect and an attack. And he really wanted a snack though.
good old Trooper the dog
He raises a little hell.
doesn't even care.
He's
But it's
tough
funny,
stuff.
like he goes and says it's like the one of the spider slayers is going to get away from him, and he's just like, oh, good thing I have these extra spider trackers. And I'm just like, is everything you make have to have be like spider themed and be called Spider Blank? It's like when you like it's some shitty sci-fi like thing where it's just like, oh, we better go into the space washroom. It's like you can't just say space in front of everything.
Let me go on the bat toilet.
He's super concerned about putting his spider trackers on stuff, and more so than he is about staying alive. And I took it to be like he just invented them, and so he's super pumped to use them. It's like when you get a new thing and you can't stop using it. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
it's something, any new electronic, it's like a toy.
I was going to say the other thing about this is in that scene, Smythe's revealed in the level of the Empire, like in the Empire State Building. Spoiler: that's where the Kingpin lives. And
He
the
lives in the Empire State Building?
I think so.
Or is it the Chrysler Building?
Oh,
Yeah.
I only
Colin
remember the
Wilson's-
Chrysler Building from the Godzilla movie.
The Chrysler Building is the one that's very Art Deco.
it might be the Chrysler Building.
The
I
Empire
thought it was
State Building is much more square.
All right, Vera, you look that up.
So I made that same mistake in New York, and my friend laughed at me.
Oh. The important thing is Smythe got a stupid chair that floats, but it's too wide for a door.
Yeah, what the hell? He goes and he has the chair after all. So, how did he get it? Was it because of Big Willie's Fisk's discount hover chair?
I'm rather hard on employees.
He's got the employee discount on top of the regular discount. They're practically giving them away.
Oh my gosh. One thing I thought was really funny is like Spider-Man's just like, while he's dealing with the Spider Slayers.
You're right,
like,
it totally is the Chrysler Building.
Oh, fuck.
But I feel like they
Oh.
call it the Empire State Building.
Again, a common, I just said it was a
I don't think they're
common
allowed to cite either of those things.
It's definitely the Chrysler Building, because that's the thing that folds out. You're right. Good call.
Nice.
Anyways, so
Man of the world, Peter.
I was in New York twice. Okay. So as Spider-Man is fighting the Spider Slayers, he's just like basically saying, "Oh, I don't know what to do." He's like, how do I deal with this?" And then he, surprise, surprise, shoots web at them. I'm like, "Oh, good work."
Yeah, it's his go-to.
No. It's like, wait, I shot web. Should try that again.
He's really going for the eyes. Like that, he figured that strat out, and he's really using that to his advantage now.
It's really his go-to move. Blind
It's
him.
really his go-to
giving
move.
them
I'm pretty sure we mentioned in like the last episode.
It's
Same
this-
kind of thing.
Yeah.
But they're initiated. Can he make them blind?
He's all about the facials now. So, with Spider-Man secure, a vengeful Alistair Smythe entices J. Jonah Jameson with a simple phone call before shackling him to Spider-Man with a bomb set to go off in 1 hour.
It's set to detonate in 1 hour.
Dun dun dun.
I really like the container he puts them in, though. That, like, pneumatic.
It's a hospital
It's-
bed.
It's also like it's a sex chair.
Yeah. Oh, for
It's
sure.
what allows him. He won't do anything unless it's in like a giant stupid thing made out of metal.
Was that like his father's idea of helping him walk again?
Okay, so the manacle is what he's strapped onto in the chair, and then the bomb just goes between those, and then all of a sudden, that's what they're wearing?
No, take it back. It clashes with the color of my costume.
Because is it glue?
It comes off, I guess.
Is it Gorilla Glue? He said they're indestructible, but yet it's like not one piece. And
Well, I mean, he's the villain. He would say that.
He would. Doesn't want them to try.
Also, but he's
just
like,
give up and lie down.
Yeah.
what's weirder is that he puts on the bomb between J. Jonah Jameson and Spider-Man, and he goes, a perfect fit.
A perfect fit.
Like, he's surprised that the thing he made fit. Like,
I spaced them out perfectly.
I'm so good at my job.
maybe he just makes these machines when he's drunk.
Pretty sure.
He wakes up in the morning. He's like, "What did I make this stupid thing?" Oh well.
Well, the
What's
hover
that
chair
Hemming-
probably has something in there.
What's that Hemingway quote? Do like write drunk, edit sober. He
That's
probably
what I-
does that. He probably makes his robots drunk. And
That's
then
exactly how I do this.
Yeah, that's the mantra of this podcast.
Exactly. How does Jameson know Alistair Smythe?
I guess.
Yeah. He has his phone number. He just calls him up and he says this, and they're like on a one name basis. He comes, he's like, "What? This better be good, Smythe," or "What's this about, Smythe?"
What gives, Smythe?
It's obvious. It wants a mate, and you're the lucky guy.
They know each other.
Did they not interact in the last episode?
Well,
They've
there's
never
such a
interact-
thing as
no.
a yellow pages, though. Like he might have just looked him up. Maybe Eddie Brock told him about him.
Yeah, but he calls Smythe by.
Oh, no, because Jameson was watching the report with Eddie Brock revealing who Flash was. He must have seen that there were other people in the room and stuff when all the men came in.
And he is a very good newsman.
And yeah, he's a top-notch reporter, I would assume.
That's right.
He probably reported on the explosion that happened at Oscorp.
Yeah,
Who died? Oh,
and the
Mr. Smythe Sr. leaving his son, Alistair, still alive.
His crippling mental instability that he's got out of this. Like, he's so insane now.
Forget it, JJ. He's not playing with a full deck. Oh, you should understand that.
It's awesome. The animation they gave him in this episode, he makes the craziest angry villain faces. They're so those
Oh, yeah.
eyebrows, that like smile.
It's very maniacal.
He loves himself.
But also, I realized there's a lot of Jameson in the first 3 episodes. It's like he's a main character in this. I never really remember him being so prominent. I guess maybe later he loses prominence when there's like a bunch of different things. But at the beginning, like I think you mentioned in a previous episode, it's like they're setting up so many subplots, and it's like here's all these characters, and you just always know it.
Yeah, I think it's true. I think it's also maybe a fact that they have Ed Asner, who's ostensibly
He doesn't come cheap.
like he's the biggest name I think on this show.
That's fair.
Like I can't think of anybody else who even comes close.
Oh no, there's no Mark Hamill.
I mean, not for another couple episodes.
Not yet.
Oh,
But
yeah,
at the
not
time,
yet.
nobody
Spoiler.
like he was like basically out of a career at the time. Like he was like
Ed
Mark
Asner?
Hamill.
Oh, you mean
So
Mark
he was really only doing like voiceover work and like Star Wars appearances. So like I think Asner is the biggest name. So maybe they're just getting as much as they can out of him at the time because
Was he not?
why the hell wouldn't you ride him? He's great.
Was
True.
the animated series after Spider-Man? The Batman animated series?
They ran concurrently.
Oh, that's why Growing Up was so good.
Yeah.
God, that show's so good.
Other
that
than
is the thing.
discovering new
the
things.
Batman one started first. And that's why it got away with a little bit more than Spider-Man did. But Fox needed a hit, so it was like one of the first ones. But I'm
Like
pretty sure
real
they ran at the
guns.
same time. Yeah, the banter here though is off the charts.
Yeah.
I love like Spider-Man doesn't give a fuck about his own life. Like he couldn't care less as long as he gets to keep poking Jameson. Like that's all he's doing here. He's not trying to escape. He's not worried for his safety.
Yeah.
He's just like, let's say funny things.
You're like, what? The quip count was off the charts there.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's like he knows he's gonna get out, so he doesn't.
Yeah.
He's always like, it's fine. I'm just gonna play this guy, and he like he's such a dick.
Yeah.
Should we just do a super cut of his like quips here? Just ding, ding, ding.
That would be
ding.
pretty good.
I think we'll have to.
Now let's see who's under that mask.
Hey, hold it. When was the last time you washed your hands?
What are you, nuts?
You have to ask. Hey, don't look at me. Maybe you didn't deliver his paper this morning. We had a lot of people, Smythe. Must be rough around the holidays. Have you ever thought of becoming a family therapist?
Quiet!
What's so great? He's quipping so hard. There's no reason for this bomb to attach Spider-Man and Jameson together rather than just murdering them right here. But they attach it to them and let them go. And I don't care because I just want to see more of like the odd couple.
I'm disappointed he eventually breaks them out so soon after they're put together. I want more Jameson and Spider-Man.
You want a trial separation already? I understand, but I'm hurt.
Just the only other thing I have about this scene is that Spider Slayer gasses them in the most over-the-top
Yeah,
way.
it's
With a
ridiculous.
missile.
It fires a huge missile at them, and it's so over the top. It's a giant missile at their feet, and a big cloud
Yeah.
of gas puts them to sleep.
There's got to be a better way to dispense toxic gas.
You could go over and hit him with a cudgel.
Hey, where'd you get that? Sent away for it.
Default!
Where'd you get that anyway? Sent away?
But his father died in an insignificant bomb explosion, and then he's just like, yeah, I'm gonna release a missile in the middle of this building that I'm all in. Like, it's fine.
No, he's very liberal with his missile load.
The newlyweds are dropped off at the top of a tower and have a little lover's quarrel before Spider-Man bodies Jameson and heads off to save the other people, name dropped by Smythe in the other scene.
Also, I love that the tarantula Spider Slayer basically just shits them out like with a cloud of gas.
Yeah, just drops him.
Yeah, he just goes. I don't know why he's pissed off at Flash. What the fuck did he do? He impersonated Spider-Man and then literally tried to get away.
I guess that ruined his plan.
I guess it wasn't really Spider-Man, so he didn't get his hover chair, but he ended
If
up.
Flash hadn't
doing-
have fucked it up, he might have had a shot.
It's true. I guess you're right.
And really, I think he just wants to get rid of everybody that was involved that night. He just is like zeroed in on these people, and that's it.
Flash Thompson, Eddie Brock, and Norman Osborn.
It's his revenge list.
I think the only blameless one is Brock.
Brock was the decent reporter, like you said.
He did his job. And
Yep.
But if he was a good reporter, he might have known that was a fake Spider-Man.
How would he have known?
Maybe by size, maybe by height.
No, they're about the same.
Because
they're brothers.
Yeah, they're basically brothers. Remember, they are the exact
they're
same
cousins.
kid.
Sorry, they're
They're
cousins.
cousins.
Yeah, they're first cousins. Like, can Spider-Man one-arm web sling that easily? Like,
Dude, Spider-Man is super strong. I keep saying.
I know, but it's so hard. Like the coordination.
I'm pretty sure he's a pro now.
He's done it on several
If
occasions.
I
He's
know
like-
he does it, but that's got to be draining
But like he's,
compared to the regular way. Like the
You should-
regular way is insane. Like
it's all pretty.
And then
insane.
imagine doing it one-armed.
Well, I'm just really glad that he like shut JJ up like right away. It's like
He calls it bright eyes. What the hell is that?
What bright eyes? Until I can figure out a way to get this bomb off us, you're coming along for the ride. So fasten your safety belt. Ah!
I don't know. Have you looked at his eyes? They're beautiful.
Is that one of those, like, not backhanded compliment, but the other way? Like, it's not really an insult.
Call it compliment, part compliment, part insult.
So we go and cut to like Flash trying to hit on Felicia Hardy, a normal occurrence, and she doesn't give a shit. I thought they were dating in the last episode, but then she was there hitting on Peter Parker and making out with him. And then Harry comes in.
And Harry's
and
cramping his
everything.
style.
Hey, Flash. Hi, Felicia.
Hello, Harry.
Hey, Harry's still playing the bitch here, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's such a number two. Like, he's such a second in command,
really...
like, lackey.
This, like, the evolution of Harry is something I actually kind of want to keep tabs on. Just to see when it flips that he's no longer... Is he always a wiener? I don't know.
Episode 3, still wiener.
Still a wiener.
Harry watch.
All right.
Oh, hey, Flash. Also, that jazz music.
Oh, right. See you later.
Are we supposed to be hearing that as the audience, or is that playing outside of ESU University at all times? Like
ESU University.
ESU
ATM
University.
machines.
Yeah, or those pin numbers.
Yeah, Felicia, like, Flash isn't getting in her gem-encrusted panties at all. And the Black Widow attacks, Spider-Man shows up, and he uses the Widow's lasers to free Jameson, and then smashes up the Widow. Like,
much to the audience's chagrin, because we all wanted more Jameson and Spider-Man together.
yeah, it's super sad.
Just cutting the ties that bind.
The thing is, what I noticed a lot in this episode, there's a lot of just like, oh, look, lasers. This is convenient to move the plot along. It's like just like Deus Ex lasers, and then just like, it's like, oh, and then it's like right away, just like, and they're cut off, and by Jameson, that's it. And that problem is solved.
Yeah.
And we know Spider-Man's going to get away with the bomb and be fine.
Like, this episode happens at, like, the speed of light, I think. Like, so much. Like, I get the ticking bomb is to tell you that it only happens in an hour, but it feels like so much. It's just, like...
It's too many
done.
Spider Slayers.
Yeah.
It really is.
They should have cut one.
But then as soon as Spider-Man cuts off the manacle or whatever from Jameson,
You got it.
you're Jameson, he's like, let's go, kid. We got a few calls to make.
Come on, kid. Let the bugs fight it out. We gotta make some calls.
It's like, who's he gonna call right now?
He's got a scoop.
He's got
He
gotta
heard
go
all the
get
other
my
names.
best
He wants to let
reporter.
them know.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's got to call Brock. I love that he's like, no, I'm not hiring him back. I just need to tell him to watch out for his life.
No, I don't want to rehire him.
But like they end up calling like what Harry's just like, oh, call my dad, and they end up calling Harry Norman Osborn, and the freaking cell phone in the 90s that Norman is using. It's just fantastic. It's the size of his head, you know. It's just, you don't see that stuff anymore. It's fantastic. But then it's like, why are you using a cell phone when you're like in your building, which I assume has a phone everywhere. Plus, it's the 90s. Cell phones weren't that prominent.
I assume it's because he doesn't even own the lease to this place anymore because he lost it to the Kingpin in the previous episode.
He's worse off than Aunt May.
It's all in debt. He's the Trump of robotics.
Gosh. Let's not make this political.
Yeah, that was
that was a business joke.
Oh,
that was the one thing I thought. Yeah, like I was just like, wait, what? Like you now are still the boss? Didn't you lose?
Because that was a key point.
That was a key part.
That's a thing. Yeah, but he still owns Oscorp. Like, or is it because nobody really succeeded because everything got blowed up?
I think we were right. He just set that bomb fire off because he needed the insurance.
But wasn't that at Oscorp?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So he burned it down, like you said the previous episode. You can't repossess it if it doesn't exist.
Don't worry. I can handle it.
Felicia doesn't recognize the thing that almost killed her in the previous episode and is now coming to kill her again.
You're ruining everything!
Like, she doesn't remember that at all.
Is this another one of your gags, Flash Thompson?
No!
Like, when this fucking thing shows up and then shoots acid that eats through the brick wall behind them.
You're ruining everything.
Listen, Xanax is a powerful drug.
She was rolling on Molly.
Oh my gosh.
With a little bit of a wine drop coming. Across town, Spider Slayer number 2 breaks up Eddie Brock's job interview because nothing good in this world ever happens to Eddie Brock. Spider-Man saves him and downs another spider's lair with an electrical box.
He goes the way of Frank Grimes.
What's this? Extremely high voltage.
I don't have to wear any gloves because I'm Homer Simpson.
I don't have to wear these safety gloves because I'm a giant spider slayer.
Oh my gosh. The various things that actually hurt these spider slayers, it's pretty
up and
funny.
down.
It's pretty funny. Like later on, like something happens and I'm just like, wait a minute, wasn't only acid able to get through this armor? And then it's like, oh no, also various other things.
I guess all he's doing, well, except for the smashing it against the wall, but like at least the other things were electronics related. So you're like, okay, instead of hurting it with raw power, I'm going to hurt it with like, you know, I'm going to hit it where it would logically be weak. And I kind of like that. But the other one, he just smacks into a wall. So like, fuck it, I guess. And like, we're only at minute 12 after this sort of scene, and he takes out 2 spider slayers. Like the previous episode was 1 spider slayer the whole episode.
True.
This one, 2 are down at 12 minutes. They kind of suck.
Or we'll see.
Eddie Brock is hired for like a hot minute here too, which is great. Like he
fantastic.
does the job interview, gets the job, and immediately the spider crashes through the wall, tries to kill him.
Yeah.
Spider-Man saves him in a really sexual way, and then he's fired immediately.
Jameson was right. You're fired. Oh, no.
I mean, yeah, it is not, again, not his fault.
Yeah, world-class tantrum though.
He's done it to me again. I'll get even with you. I'll get even with you if it's the last thing I do.
The best part is like the spider slayer crashes through the wall and then like starts going through the office, and then Brock, his bright idea is to close the door to the editor's office.
Shh, they
Like,
can't see us in here.
yeah, just like it just broke through a wall. It's gonna make it through the door.
I guess it was more of a trying to hide rather than...
I guess so. You know,
Use your head for once, Brock.
Smythe activates his masterwork, a scorpion spider slayer, and sicks it on Osborn, who counters with robot tanks and hella drones, and honestly a pretty sweet battle.
yeah, no, it's pretty fun. This whole episode is just fun battles, really.
And quips.
I mean, quips. Well, I mean, it's not a battle with Spider-Man if there aren't quips.
That's fair.
I just love how cute the scorpion robot is. It's got this little like doo face. It reminds me of Seadra, like from the fucking Pokemon.
Doo-doo.
Doo.
Doesn't a Mario villain have that? too?
Birdo.
Birdo.
Birdo,
It's
yeah.
very Birdo,
Is
yeah.
that Super Mario 2?
She
And a
shoots
whole
the
bunch
eggs.
of other things. And I like those tanks though, because as soon as you see them, you're like, this shit's gonna blow up. Like, like these tanks are not long for this world.
And like Osborn's just like, I got him now, even though he knows the Spider Slayers are out there and stuff.
And that their hide is invincible.
Oh yeah, invincible to everything but various things.
Very specific acid.
Yeah, Smythe's off the deep end though. Like he's full on villain cackling
Oh, yeah.
and like tenting his fingers and shit. Like
On like the ledge of a skyscraper.
it's so bizarre. He's right at the edge with his hover chair.
Oh, yeah.
He's putting every faith in Big
Well,
Willie
it-
Fist's
it-
hover
it-
chairs.
It hovers. So
No,
it
yeah,
doesn't
but no.
matter how high off the ground he is.
That doesn't
What if
fly.
he steers it a little too hard?
There's a difference between flying and hovering.
I beg to differ. Oh, speaking of flying, do these Spider Slayers, like, they shouldn't be able to really be flying so accurately. Like, because they just have jets. They don't have wings or rudders.
Well, I think that's what the legs of the scorpion's for. It's
Well,
kind
they
of
just
like
like
a...
fold up, and then they just like shoots the jets on its butt and goes forward. But it's like perfectly controlling it. Otherwise, like
Elon Musk is furiously taking notes.
My God, it's so streamlined. It's perfect.
This will make people love me again.
oh no,
So I guess the scorpion just blows up everything that Oscorp makes. In just
Yeah.
like he's got the helidrones, he's got the tanks. Meanwhile, those 2 humans are just like, "Why are we still here? We should get
Yeah, they
the
just
fuck
run.
out." Yeah,
just run security
gotta-
guards.
All right, this is what started to make me kind of get angry at this episode. Was Spider-Man finds Eddie Brock at 48 minutes 9 seconds. He's got a watch on his hand. It's an explodey watch, but it's a watch. He makes it to Oscorp before 40 minutes.
Yep.
He is so fucking fast, and this number just starts jumping wildly at this point.
Yeah. Also, the display changes and another 0 gets put in front of the 40. If you look at the beginning with Jameson, it just says 59:01. whatever.
Yeah. Usually it's only 4 digits. And it
yeah,
jumps to
but
5?
this time it was it was 5.
Maybe it's like when you look at it, like, you know, when you have
It's
a watch
curved,
and you
right?
kind of look at it in the sun and it kind of lights up.
I'm pretty sure it's curved, yeah.
So Oscorp's on fire again.
Again because of the Smythes.
I love when he's like looking, like he can clearly see Oscorp, and he's just got his binoculars. Like yes, he's so happy.
He has the video display from the things that are doing the destruction. But no, I got to get this. I got these sweet knocks. I got to get involved in this.
I also invented these.
His mom bought him for bird watching for Christmas, and he's like trying to find a use for him.
No, it's just like oh, I just invented these vision extenders. Father will be proud.
They're so heavy they require 5 men to lift them.
It's like an old-timey invention that's like already like super complicated. It's already
They're like
invented.
hover.
That's
binoculars.
basically what his hover chair is.
Yeah.
It does everything a wheelchair does, but in a way worse and more obnoxious way.
Yep, for sure.
So much for Mr. Osborn's place of business.
So the 2 crappy ones that he defeated earlier in the episode just wake up. Like Smythe pushes a few buttons and they're like, haha, psych, I'm fine.
Well, that was his whole plan, right?
That's a terrible plan.
His whole plan was to just like kind of make it unsuspecting to Spider-Man, like make him think that he defeated them so easily, so that they can come back.
Him into a false.
I don't think so. I think he
security.
wanted to kill Flash Thompson.
Yeah,
I think his
Eddie
ultimate
Brock,
goal is
and he
Spider-Man.
fails.
Can it be both?
Yeah, I think his ultimate goal is to screw over Spider-Man.
I think the problem with this whole plan that he has is he's not keeping his eye on the prize. He wants to go against Jameson, Brock, Flash, Osborn, when he just needs to go against Spider-Man. If he didn't waste his time with everything, what the fuck was the point of attaching the bomb to Jameson too? Just put it around Spider-Man's waist.
Or neck.
Or just kill him while he's in his, like...
Just shoot him.
Like, he's not impenetrable. He's not Superman. You just kill him.
Just shoot him.
You had him. Why do you need an hour?
It's some straight up Dr. Evil shit right
That's
there.
it.
I'm going to place him in an easily escapable situation involving an overly elaborate and exotic death.
I love how Norman Osborn, he's got all this helidrones and his robot tanks and stuff, but he doesn't even have a proper escape pod or anything. He's just got this shitty Toyota. Like, what's with everybody not having a nice car?
I'm sorry. I believe it was more of a K car.
What is like...
Put it in H.
Put it into H.
It's definitely like you expect him to be in some sort of sexy car. He owns a technology company, and
He
he's
owns
like
a factory.
a factory of robots. And he's like, "Hold on, let me get in my sedan." Like, just fucking.
It's more of a hatchback.
It's more of a Ford Escort.
It's such a piece of shit.
We're just naming shitty cars now.
Is it the same? It's like the same car that Flash drives.
Oh yeah, it was. Well, he's the one who towed it from in front of Jameson's building.
He's just like,
He's like jackpot.
Norman's like, yes, free car. He got the helidrones to do it.
All his tanks were shit because they're just like paper mache built onto these crappy cars he's been towing to the Oscorp yard. That's what it is. It's just a junker out in the middle of Queens.
Well, it's one of his other businesses.
He's just has got a barge full of cars.
He's got his fingers in a lot of pies. Spider-Man uses liquid oxygen to break his bomb cuff before giving chase, saving Norman Osborn from being crushed by Slayer Zord.
Slayer Zord.
So I always thought it was really funny when you would see the tarantula and you're like, oh, there's a hole in its back. I bet you that's where the Widow fits. And then they go and stack up on one another and like, the Widow doesn't go in there at all. It doesn't even fit in the hole. So why does the tarantula have a giant hole in its back? Tarantulas don't have giant holes in their back.
It's to carry other things.
It's for the toy design.
I don't get it. It drove me nuts.
They need to go and design these things so they can make the most money on toy sales. And they had my money.
Also, is liquid oxygen ever written as LOX?
Liquid oxygen.
It is.
I don't know, science.
No, it's like it would be.
It
would
is
just be
sometimes
O2.
written that way, yeah. But it still was kind of expecting a big tank full of smoked salmon.
It would have been delicious. A delicious plot turn.
He turns on the tank and smoked salmon comes out and he's like, no!
He goes, what a delightful caper.
Oh!
I like how Spider-Man's bomb timer is now at 15 minutes. So he got to Oscorp, he changed his web cartridges, and then he fucked around doing nothing for 25 minutes. All right, I fucking timed it, and he remarks that he has 15 minutes left when he wakes up and before he goes to, burn the bomb up with the liquid oxygen.
Yeah.
19 seconds go by, during which you can count the ticks on the bomb because it's beeping and you can hear it in the episode. So it's definitely 19 seconds. And then he breaks it off and he's like, sweet. And he looks at it and it says 11 minutes and 2 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
19 seconds. 5 minutes go by in 19 seconds.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's like every action movie ever.
Yeah,
I have
fuck off. Like,
I
they
have
can at least
5
keep
minutes.
the scenes in order. Like,
Well,
if you
just
want
because it beeped doesn't mean the scene is continuous.
This doesn't mean time is happening if it's beeping.
That's bullshit.
Yeah. But the thing is, they go and mention him changing his web cartridges, but then they show him doing it, and he's just like, oh, I'm out of web fluid. Well, good thing I brought extra cartridges. I'm like, why do you even mention this anymore? And that's that was the second time they mentioned web fluid and web cartridges.
It makes me think the writers watched all those action movies where they just shoot and their guns are never reloaded and their guns don't have the proper magazine count, and it's like it really upsets them. And so they have to make it a point that yes, we know he runs out. Look, he's putting more in. Look at it. Look at it. I don't that's the only thing I can think of. Otherwise, you would think if it was a kids show, kids would never pay attention to him needing to reload, right? It's such an innocuous thing.
Yeah.
If I was a kid,
Yeah, they don't know anything about refractory periods yet.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah, no, they...
All right, let's talk about Norman Osborn's car for a second. His license plate, if you were wondering and want to know, is 19721, and it says Osborn instead of a state. Oh, and he misspells Osborn.
Well, yeah. He's his own country, right?
Spider-Man is really casual about Osborn's obvious head trauma. These are simpler times.
Was there no airbag in his car? This is clearly the 90s.
He has to slam on the brakes. He brains himself on the fucking windshield. And then he's passed out. And Spider-Man's like, this is no time to take a nap.
Come on, Osborn. This is the worst possible time for a nap.
Let me just throw you around. Just get that neck nice and loose.
Do you remember when we just kind of shrugged off people's brains hitting the insides of their skulls? Like, fuck you, you puss, get up.
It shouldn't even be a problem.
It's fantastic. I played a lot of hockey as a kid.
No, yeah, I couldn't tell that. It's like the maniacal laugh you're just doing. It's like
yeah.
It's like when Homer goes and pulls the tail of the pig. It's curly straight.
I'm never gonna get bitten though. That's the difference here. So Spider-Man stalks the Mecha Slayer, dropping onto it and securing the bomb before swinging away to safety just as it blows, destroying the Slayers and dooming Smythe to servitude under the Kingpin.
Mm-hmm. I did appreciate the call out to the Thing.
I hate to borrow someone else's line, but it's clobbering time.
I didn't appreciate it at all.
Wait, the shout out?
He says this isn't
clobbering time.
Yeah, he says it's clobbering.
Oh, the Thing. Sorry. I was like, the Stephen King or the John
We're
Carpenter?
talking about comics, Vera.
I was like, the John Carpenter movie? There's a shout out to that? Yeah, no.
All right.
Because it doesn't make sense. He's not clobbering him. He's a bomb.
Sure, but I do enjoy them referencing the rest of the characters.
If that's what they wanted to do in this instance, why not say flame on?
No. Yeah. Why don't you go and talk to John Semper for God's sake?
He won't return my Facebook messages, Peter. I've told you this.
I feel like this episode should have almost been
I'm going to send him another one.
I feel like this episode should have almost been a 3-parter because it's actually really disappointing that this fucking spiders the spiders and the scorpion finally combine and they get just Like, that's it. There's just, like, such a waste. It's supposed to be this big villain that he just jumps on the back of and then puts a bomb on. Like, I get you didn't want to do a third Spider Slayer episode, but really, like, it just felt like such a disappointing end for them. And then it's a heartbreaking end, because once they blow up, the Scorpion's face looks like it's, "Why don't you love me, Spider-Man?" And then it just holds on for dear life and then just goes to sleep.
Why was I programmed to feel pain?
The Omega Spider Slayers got that look. Are we supposed to feel bad for him? Like, I kind of do.
I was rooting for the Scorpion the whole time.
Like, maybe he's
the Scorpion robot.
Scorpion robot,
He's going to have a turn of faith and he'll become good. Like,
maybe they're meant to be friends. Like,
I was supposed to go backpacking through Europe with my friends after this.
I'll never open the bakery.
Father, I have failed you. But also, aren't these things supposed to be heavily armored and, like, indestructible, basically? Yet a bomb takes them out? Did you not think a bomb would ever show up?
Yeah, especially with all their stupid gas missiles they're loaded up with.
Spider-Man doesn't have bomb powers.
I guess it, like, got them in the one place that's, like, right next, because the Widow and the Tarantula blow up.
Perfect. Just the right position.
Right.
First. And then the Scorpion's like... Brr.
The Scorpion's on the bottom, though, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's kind of okay. It just gets its power shaken from the Force. But, I mean, you just spent an entire episode knowing how much that the Widow is indestructible. To have it then just blow up from a bomb feels like... Again,
I wish it was a Widow, though.
Yeah.
But that's my point. Like, did he make it weaker? I don't know. I guess that.
I think it just pump them out pretty quick, but it's been like a few months.
I think they should have made the three of them. Like, he should have released the third one early. I just feel like, personally, you get, like, no payoff for them coming together. And it's in the fucking theme song.
Smythe is told that he's working for Fisk now. And that's really, like, his response is, "There's nothing left." And it's super weird.
There's nothing left.
Like, it was dubbed in later, but it's really not that bad of a deal.
No, he just has to come up with more things in order to kill Spider-Man.
What else was he gonna do?
I don't know. What else does he do?
Makes inferior Spider Slayers.
Like,
his dad made the good one. Maybe that's it. His dad makes the good ones, and his are shit.
But, like,
because he didn't learn long enough.
He is smart and, like, has a degree in mechanical engineering, I'm sure.
Well, he was able to build them. He just didn't make them as well as his dad did. That's why he built these three things, and they weren't as good as the original one.
Yeah, that's fair.
He doesn't have as much training as his dad does.
Yeah.
So they put a bow on this one with Peter sewing his costume before heading downstairs. Well, being hauled downstairs to meet his blind date, Mary Jane Watson.
Face it, Tiger. You just hit the jackpot.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh la la.
First of all, Peter is narrating here, and he's speaking out loud. Is he always doing that, and we just can't see his mouth moving because he's in the mask?
I guess so.
It's super weird.
No,
right?
yeah, because in the comics, it's all thought bubbles, right?
I think so.
Yeah, most of the time it's thought bubbles. He's just web slinging and he's thinking to himself. It happens all the time in the episodes.
Yeah, like I always thought it was a monologue, like an interior monologue we were getting, but like he's speaking out loud to the sewing machine.
The worst thing about a secret identity is that you can't ask someone else to do your sewing.
Yeah, well,
and he's just mugging to the camera, like in a way that would put The Office to shame.
What?
Oh?
Like Jim?
Yeah.
Why does he always do that face?
My blind date. I completely forgot. Oh, why not just let Smythe's bugs eat me?
Also, like, did Aunt May overhear? Like, so did Aunt May overhear that? He like just gets up from the sewing machine and then like he leaves his costume out. Is she not like, "Oh, Peter, what do you have going on?"
She knows better than to go into her
teenage self.
Yeah, she doesn't want to walk through a spider web.
He's like, he's like in his 20s, but yeah, she knows better than to go into his room.
I bet you he did something once to really freak her out to get her to never go back into his room.
Just face it, if she goes into his room, he can take her out.
So anyways, Peter walks downstairs and...
Go answer the door, Peter.
Don't I get a last meal?
Hey, look at this.
We're just staring at a picture of her.
No, but I'm
legs.
going to move it forward. Although,
knees.
like, this isn't just my Jack Shack here. Like, all right, so you got the red cowboy boots, the red hair, the purple pants, the yellow sweater, or the pink turtleneck, or the whole fucking package. But goddamn, Mary Jane Watson, fucking smoke show.
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
I never noticed that she had a Jay Leno chin, though. I don't know how I feel about that. She's got that, like, butt chin, though.
But also, and then Peter's faces that he makes are just ridiculous.
Do you think Mary Jane, like, also was like, oh, blind dates are such a gamble, blah, blah, blah. And, like, that's why she makes that joke, too? Like, that shows that they're, like, in sync with one another? Like, it's such a great callback to him being like, oh, blind dates are the lottery. And her first line is, you just hit the jackpot.
Maybe she's just, like, a jerk. And she's just really, like...
Well,
she's an
hot.
actress, so she's self-confident.
She knows
maybe
she's hot.
just, like... Yeah, that's the thing. She knows she's hot. But also, what are they doing on this date? Did she just appear at his house?
She was picking him
neighbors,
up.
I
Yeah.
think.
So he's never seen her grow up?
If they're neighbors, how would you not even know who this person is?
Catholic school?
Also, shouldn't he be picking her up? Call me old-fashioned. Like, I'm all good for, she's going and picking him up.
He spent his $1,000 bonus on Aunt May's gambling debts, not the motorcycle.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, but, like, shouldn't he go and pick her up for the date? That's just good manners. I don't know. Again, I guess I'm old-fashioned.
I guess you are.
Yeah. Anyways.
Listen, she's a tough cookie. She can do what she wants.
No, she is a strong, independent woman, but what is this date?
Well, you know what? Maybe we'll find out on the next episode. Because that's it for Return of the Spider Slayers.
True.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to hear bests, worsts, and I want an arbitrary ranking. Peter, we're going to start with you on this one.
The best parts?
Your favorite part, your least favorite part, and give me a ranking on this.
I mean, obviously one of my favorite parts is, like, I think you would agree, all the quipping between him and Jameson.
That's tough to
the worst part, the lack of Kingpin, really. He's just there, just moving the plot along, just, oh, by the way, I'm also here. There's no point. I don't know. I'll give it like 7 kazoos out of 10.
7 kazoos. I guess you could play one if you were a giant scorpion with a weird face.
Exactly.
All right. I'm going to give this one 6 gas missiles out of 10. I love the banter, like you said. I think the action was some of the better action.
Yeah, it was really good action for this one.
I think that was really great. But the way that the strength of the robots fluctuated wildly, and that timer is fucking pissing me off. It just felt awkward at times. It wasn't as cohesive as the last one.
No, for sure.
Vero?
Okay, my favorite part of the episode is probably Alistair Smythe's animation and his insane faces. Like, you know what? He loves being a villain. He steered right into it, and he's crushing it as being the, like, a good... Like, he's captive, so you kind of feel bad for him, but he's also loving it. So I would say that's probably my favorite part of the episode. I think my least favorite part of the episode, emotionally, is watching the scorpion die. But, like, actually, I think I've said it. Just I feel like the big villain, the big robot, just goes down way too easily, and it's kind of unfortunate because it's built up pretty strongly. And I would give it 4 web cartridges out of a possible 7 on his belt.
I like it.
It's more of an infinite amount on his belt.
All right. So I think that does it for this one. Totally. Vero, you want to check tomorrow's edition of the Daily Bugle and tell us what we can expect in our next episode?
He's supposed to have some big scoop.
The moment all America has been waiting for. Today's issue of the Bugle.
Brock's big scoop.
Eddie Brock's biggest scoop. Big news, too.
That's unbelievable.
Exactly how did you happen to get this?
Oh, Kevin, I just picked it up. And the headline says, Dr. Otto Octavius, one of Peter's childhood teachers, gets revenge on the Hardy family for cutting off the funding of his research by kidnapping Mrs. Hardy's daughter, Felicia.
Does anyone remember anything about this episode?
Nope.
Yes, he straps her to like a nuclear reactor.
Spoilers, I haven't seen it in like 20 years.
No, this is.
That's what I'm saying. What do you remember?
This is what I remember. He straps her to this insane bomb, and she's just like I think she's in the classic like hands up like damsel in distress pose too. Oh, is it a bomb or is it it might be a space engine?
Yeah, all I remember is the bowl cut.
I don't remember anything about this episode.
Oh, and the sunglasses. Are they all together? Is it one lens? I have so many questions. The visor.
You know what? You'll have to wait to find out. Until the next episode.
Cool. Well, thanks everyone for listening. If you liked what you heard, be sure to subscribe and rate us 5 stars on iTunes. If you want to interact with us, we're on Twitter at RA_Spider-Pod, on Instagram at Radioactive Spider-Pod, and you can find us on Facebook. Hope to hear from you.
Yeah, I don't want any of that 4-star shit. Yeah, that's it.
No, I'm serious.
What the hell?
Kiss my butt. Kiss my butt.
Kiss his ass. Happy Hanukkah.
There's nothing left.